Hey, what's up, guys? Brian Barrera, CEO, LC Innovation. We're on part five now of the five tool employee framework. We're almost done. We get to a chart at the end, and I'm finishing up right now. I'm finishing up right now with arm strength. And I believe the last thing we were going over is performs to impress, not to connect. I went over that quite a bit in the last video. But again, um, it's going to take 5 to 6 videos. So I'm on part five. Hopefully, I don't need to get to six, but if I do, we're going to get in there because this is very important when you talk about it. But that's what it is. It performs to impress, not to connect. This is behind the curtain. It's a psychological lens of the bad part behind um, behind arm strength. Performs to impress, not to connect. Remember, I know you saw me scroll up right now because you're probably thinking like, "Oh, he scrolled up, he messed up, he forgot." Yeah, I did. I want to keep this raw and uncut. I want you to get everything you can from me. I want to say it up front, and then we could dissect it. We could talk about it. You could call me, you could email me, whatever the case may be. But yeah, behind the curtain, we're still talking about arm strength. We're talking about that outreach, how far you want to throw that ball. Do you want to overthrow it? Do you want to hit the leadoff, the cutoff guy? Do you want to throw it to second? What do you want to do, right? If you're a pitcher and you're throwing gas and you're just throwing as fast as you can, 100 miles per hour, but you know that the batter loves to hit fastballs because they have good hand-eye recognition, right? Hand-eye coordination. So they hit because they get really good hits, a really good average, or they get home runs off of that fastball. But you just want to beat them. You just want to beat them. You want to beat them with the heat, and you're going to lose because they're home run hitters off that heat, right? And the same thing with business, right? Ego versus ego. I'm egotistical. You're going to like my pricing. You're going to like what I got to show you. And at the same time, they don't like being talked to that way. The customers like that. They like getting a couple freebies or allowing you to make them think that you're giving them a couple freebies, right? Performs to impress, not to connect. You gotta connect with them. Uses charm to mask misalignment, right? How many times have we seen that when we're not on the same page with a manager, a colleague, a subordinate, a customer, where we try to try to dance around the issue, right? Oh yeah, we made a mistake, but we're good, man. We'll hit the home run next time. Like, come on, man. How many times has that happened? How many times have we been misaligned and we try to charm our way out of it? How many times? Right? It makes it so unsettling because then when you go out to dinner and the customer knows that you're a happy-go-lucky person and you're using that charm, it's going to make it harder for them to tell you what's going on. It's going to be harder for them to tell you. And sometimes they're not going to tell you. Sometimes they're not going to tell you that you're making a mistake because they like you so much. So you know what happens? They ghost you. And I've seen this happen before. They ghost you. They go with another client without telling you. Then you're wondering, like, what's going on? You're calling them, you're texting them, and they don't want to talk to you because they didn't have the guts to tell you to your face that you were misaligned and they didn't like what you were doing because you like to use that charm. So a person with arm strength, a person with influence, a person who wants to build that trust is then gonna or wants to connect with them is gonna tell them, right? You know what? Like before we have fun, before we, have our meals and stuff, like, can we talk about how we made that mistake? I want you to tell me what we made as a mistake. And don't feel bad. I can take it. I'm gonna write some notes. I'm gonna see how we can fix it if we can repair it. And if we can't repair it, what can we do moving forward? Right? Silences dissent in pursuit of applause, wins the room but loses the message. That leader who says, "Man, we're doing so great, we're doing incredible," but there's no training being done. "Man, we had our best numbers last month." No, we didn't. We were dead. We were dead. Orders are down. "Man, we're so aligned, we're on the same page, we're doing great." No one knows what your vision of the company is. Nobody knows. We're just here getting a paycheck. That's why we're here. And a lot of leaders, I said it, 95% of the leaders that you're working with, that you're working for, or even yourself, you got to look in the mirror and tell yourself, you know what, is that what I'm doing? The whole point of this model is for you to look in the mirror and also to evaluate, to hire, but for you to look in the mirror as well. This isn't designed just to get people to look at themselves or to evaluate themselves or their subordinates or their leaders or 360-degree feedback. No, it's a tool. It's an HR and leadership tool for evaluation, and for evaluation is huge, but also for hiring and looking at yourself in the mirror. That's what this is. The incredible things happen when I've challenged this model, when I put it out in the field with the few people that I had look at it. I sent it out to like 10 people and they all spoke very highly of it. Some of them told me you should do a YouTube channel, which I'm doing. But 2 out of those 10 people are still texting me today about this model, and they're just like, "Brian, like, I'm a lot of these things." And I didn't expect that. I wrote this model so fast. If you notice, I challenged it with AI. I had my own books, I had my own excerpts, I had everything, all the books that I've read, the models that I've read, I uploaded them, but all this was done with AI. But with my notes, I spent hours and hours, probably like 100 hours, on uploading my notes, uploading my presentations, uploading the models that I've learned, and kind of saying, hey, fit this in there. Hey, this is a psychological lens. I don't think we're talking about behind the curtain enough. How can we implement that into what we're building here? So there's a lot of psychology. There's a lot of great models that I've learned, but that's the main thing that I did not anticipate. I did not think that people were going to tell me, Brian, I'm a lot of these things. I wanted this as hiring and evaluating your employees or your subordinates or or even your bosses at 360-degree feedback. But, and it is also all those things. It is all those things. But what this is the most, it's evaluating yourself. And like I said, I didn't know that. Two of the people that texted me like, Brian, I'm a lot of those things. Man, let's talk. We're still talking about it today. They're still texting me about it, saying, I can't believe I was that person. That's the way I talk to my team. I want to win the room. I want to get everybody happy. But in doing that, it loses the message because you're not really talking about what you should be talking about. You're not talking about what's really behind the curtain. You're not. You're not telling them that you're probably going to go out of business in 6 months if you don't make an improvement. You're not telling them that your product line is going completely out of business because you did not want to adapt to AI. It's not, you're going out of business because you didn't tell them that you hate talking to your customers and you refuse to hire a sales guy because you hate sales guys or salespeople. Sorry, you hate salespeople, so you don't want to hire salespeople. You've always built the sales. You've always built the sales that you have off integrity, off honesty. But you don't like traveling anymore. You don't like traveling anymore, or you never like traveling, or you just had kids and you don't want to travel anymore because you have your kids at home. You don't want to be away from them, which is totally understandable. But you didn't make that pivot. You didn't adapt and you didn't offset your weaknesses. You didn't offset them, right? You don't talk to them about the real message is that you're a bad leader, but you want to be a great leader. And the only way you can be a great leader is by talking to them and having them tell you how you can improve. That's the only way you can do it. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about our failures enough. We don't. We want to be proud. We want to be positive in front of other people, but we never want to talk about what's really happening behind the curtain. It's so huge. And we don't. We want to look proud. We want to look like we're flawless when we're everything but. It's really sad. I've worked with a lot of clients. I've seen a lot of facilities. When I was in manufacturing, I visited over 112 facilities across the world. When I was in gaming, thousands and thousands of clients of high rollers and rich people. And now that I've been consulting the last 3 years, I've seen even more facilities, but I've seen even more inside of those walls, what's really happening. And we tend to focus on the wrong things. We focus on technical abilities, but technical abilities is only one portion of strategy. And I'll get into that other stuff, but strategy to me and culture are the most important things. Technical abilities, they can fall under culture too. If that's your culture, that you need technical people who know what they're talking about, but also man up to when they've made mistakes, right? Again, it's winning the room, but lose the message. If that's what you need, but the people that you have don't own their mistakes, they don't. They just want to. They just want to know when they hit a home run, they want everyone to know they're the ones who hit the home run. They have that power, right? But we don't talk about those things. We don't talk about those things. We just throw it under the carpet, right? And we don't talk about and we don't address the employees who always make these home run hitters feel like they're $1,000,000. One of the worst things I've heard in business is when people say, "Oh yeah, I framed it differently to make it seem like it's their idea." That's the worst thing that you can say. Who cares whose idea it is? If it's best for the business, that is what's needed. But that's what I'm saying. And you're wondering, like, oh, Brian, you're going off on a tangent. How does that do with this? Because that's what we do. We throw things under the carpet and we just want to win the room. That's all we want to do when we have these little pep talks and these pep rallies. We just want to win the room. We don't care about what's really happening out there. And if we had a meeting to talk about what's really happening out there, yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable. Yeah, it's going to be weird. Yeah, we're going to fight a little bit, but guess what? We're going to get over it. And that's a big reason why, like I said in the first video, in my intro and my resume, on why some people might not like me, because I have had those difficult conversations when it's needed. But to me, that builds character and that builds trust. So use it. Use it to hire. Ask for examples of true ownership, intentional pauses, foresight, reliable execution, and influence the elevated team. Right? Develop, coach around overuse patterns. Help high performers temper their tool to avoid cultural friction. Overuse patterns. Diagnose. Spot when a strength has become a liability and guide course correction before damage spreads. Gotta cut that cancer before it spreads. Spot when a strength has become a liability and guide course correction before damage spreads. So huge. So huge. Diagnose. Something I learned a lot about at Pepperdine. Diagnose. It's so huge to really get to the root. And that's why I love lean manufacturing, because root cause analysis, you can do root cause analysis for culture as well, for employees and the way they're acting as well. And this is what this tool is. This tool is to understand that. Okay, last part of this. I'm going to go through this quickly because this is just to get you to understand what it really means at a at a just an overview. Yeah, this is a really good overview of what it really is. Core tools, tool, natural gifts, what it looks like, red flags, overuse patterns. We talked about overuse patterns, right? So power, drive, ambition, inner fire, right? Inner fire, what it looks like, owns outcomes, good and bad, pushes progress without permission, makes decisive, high impact moves. Let's go back to owns outcomes, good and bad. When they hit a home run, they own it. Like my team hit a home run, or our team hit a home run. Not I and me and my. Our team hit a home run. Our team struck out. We struck out. Pushes progress without permission. Okay? If it's progress, it's not regression. It's not regress, it's progress, right? Progress without permission. If that's what their position is, and you hired them to do that, they got to do it. Makes decisive, high impact moves. Inspires through conviction. That is so huge. Conviction. Inspiration. True leader. Overuse patterns. Bulldoze without alignment. Overreaches to mask insecurity. A lot of proud people, right? A lot of proud people that refuse to look weak. Deflects accountability as momentum, right? Uses authority to dodge scrutiny. Man, these toxic leaders uses authority to dodge scrutiny. I'm the boss, and that's the way we're going to do it. I ain't working for somebody like that. I'm not working for someone. I'm not working with somebody like that either. And I don't want someone that works for me like that. I'm not going to work for someone like that. I don't want to work with someone like that. And I don't want someone to work for me like that. It ain't going to happen. Speed, adaptive intelligence, and mental tempo. Reads context deeply. Adjusts with reflection, not impulse. Right? You're using your speed. You're using your impulse to dissect the situation, not just to act. It's to dissect the situation and adjust with reflection. Right? So you are fast, but that's the gift that you have. That's the natural gift that you have. Adaptive intelligence and mental tempo. You know what the answer is. You know what you should be doing. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. This is what you should be doing. Says, let me think about that as a strength. We said that a bunch of times. Integrates feedback on the fly. Distinguishes action from traction. Distinguishes action from traction. Huge. The bad side of it, right? The overuse patterns and red flags. I didn't say that earlier. Red flags. That's huge. This model is based on red flags. Reacts prematurely to look capable. Reacts prematurely to look capable. I want to look like I know what I'm talking about. I want to look like I want to know each plastic material. I want to look like I know each sales technique. Oh yeah, I know that. When you're having a conversation with these people and you start talking and midway through your sentence, they try ending your sentence with their words that they think you're going to say. Right? Oh yeah, I know that. Oh yeah, I know that. I know. How many times have we dealt with people when you're telling them something and they say, I know. Okay, well then why'd you do it? If you know, why did you do it? Right? You just want to look capable. I know. Okay, well then why didn't you do it? Confuses charisma with clarity. We talked about that. Avoid structure, lacks depth beneath surface confidence. Avoid structure. You avoid the structure, right? Lacks depth beneath surface confidence. Once you get through that confidence, once you get inside, there's nothing back there. Nothing. It was just something that they said to get you to sign that document, to get you to send the sales agreement, to get you to approve the product to move forward. Prioritize immediacy over accuracy. Prioritize immediacy over accuracy. Fast, speed. Oh man, I work better